Hi, my name is Andrew Sears, and I'm the president of City Vision University. And one of the things that makes City Vision unique is we really focus on serving partner nonprofit organizations and ministries. Over three-quarters of our students are connected with partner nonprofits and ministries. And we give $160,000 in scholarships to students at those ministries. That's almost 20% of our budget. And in doing so, whenever students become new with us and are going through orientation, we like to just set some expectations of, what's required to keep those scholarships, but also kind of the purpose of what we're trying to do in engaging with your organization. So one of the things you need to understand in providing these scholarships to you, we do that because we want you to succeed, but in doing that, you have to keep a certain GPA. So you need to have a GPA of 3.0 or you'll be put on scholarship probation. Now, if you're put on scholarship probation, you can still receive a scholarship, but you won't get it until the end of a term, and you have to get an A or B for each course. Now, the other thing you need to be aware of is Pell Grant eligibility. Generally, for those students who apply, more than three-quarters get a Pell Grant for City Vision, but to keep that the rules are a little bit complex, so I'm just going to give you a quick summary. So you have to have a GPA of 1.5 to 2.0, depending on how far into the program you are. The closer you are to graduating, the more it's close to 2.0. And you also must complete the majority of the courses that you start. So if you drop a course within the first week, I don't think it counts. But if you drop it between, after week one, then it counts. So just to be aware how the Pell Grant works for this year. So this is, 2023, 2024 while I'm recording this, but the amounts may change in future years. The maximum Pell Grant is $924 per course, and the majority of our students who get a Pell Grant get that. So then we're providing a scholarship of $250 per course. So with tuition being $800 a course, what that means is you'll get a $374 per course refund, a check paid to you at the end of the course. Now, this is the case if your student has, if your organization has two or more students with City Vision in a given year in the past year. If you only have one student, then you're only going to get a 10% scholarship, so that'll be $800. So, that can be a motivation to try to find someone else in your organization to serve. So that's one thing I want you all to understand. The other thing is just a checklist for students from partner organizations. So one of the things we're going to have you do in the new student orientation is to send your supervisor or program staff an email template that we provided. Now, if you're employed at a partner organization, we want you to be engaging with your organization about City Vision. That's one of the main purposes, is we want to be connected. We don't want this to be disconnected academics. So one of the things we want you to do is to have an initial meeting to discuss your personal and professional goals related to your education and how City Vision will help you achieve them. So you're talking about those in new student orientation and some of the assignments, but write down what you have and then talk about that with your supervisor. And the other thing you can talk about, what positions do you hope to advance to in the future in the organization? And so that would be an initial meeting. Then just having regular meetings, most organizations will have regular one-to-one meetings or sometimes team meetings. Tell your supervisor what courses you're taking and how they are going. Usually a lot of supervisors just check in, how are you doing? Just give them an update. Talk to them about your plans for future courses. You can show them the courses that are up next term, and they might have input. And talk with them about your overall degree plan, because they may say, you know what, you really need to be learning about this for your job. And the other thing, this is probably the most important, share some of the major projects from your courses with your supervisor when they relate to work, or if in some cases the projects are more about just helping them understand you. So I've had several people I supervise give me their final project in vocation, calling, and purpose of work, and it's been so helpful to understand just who they are and how to best serve them. And then the last thing is most organizations will have some sort of professional development plan, often in the annual review process. So City Vision should be a major part of that. You're spending a lot of time on that. And as you do that, write about that and then have that be a part of your plan for next year. So, in the conversation about, what position do you want in the future, a lot of our partners have a career ladder that looks similar to this. So you'll have your frontline workers that, sometimes they're called guest support or various things. And then often there'll be 2 tracks for a lot of, rescue missions and, Christian homeless shelters or recovery ministries. So you'll have 2 tracks. You'll have a case management. So the next tier usually is a case manager, and then you go up to counselor, lead counselor, and sometimes senior counselor. And often there's different levels of degrees that are expected for that. In your organization, if you don't have this many tiers, as you grow, it's considered a best practice to add in these tiers. And then you have a management and leadership track. So you'll have program manager, and then sometimes program director or director of programs. So, what you'll want to do is consider where you are and where you want to be, and then ask your supervisor what it's going to take to get there. So, say you're doing frontline work and you want to become a counselor. Well, some of it, your supervisor is going to tell you, you need to take these courses, but some of them, they're going to say, well, you need to develop these things. You need to show up to work on time, or, whatever else, that they have, or just get better at working with clients. So, and then what you can do is plan your City Vision courses to help you get there. So I also want to just make sure that you understand all the ways that we can partner with your organization. We get a lot of students sometimes that are in, leadership with City Vision. So, so with clients, we have a program that's called the Wounded Healers Aftercare Partnership Program, and I'll talk to you more about that. So about 25% of our students are graduates of recovery programs with our partners, or near graduates. Then about 75% are on staff training. So that's all the City Vision programs. We have a page on our website about best practices for tuition reimbursement if your organization is considering that or has that. If your organization has a thrift store, we have a retail management certificate that's particularly targeting thrift stores, and we're going to be adding a thrift store course in that. And then food services, a lot of organizations will have food services internally or sometimes externally. With social enterprises, we have a food services management certificate. And part of the goal for these two especially is for program graduates to get skills that would help them, because the majority of recovery program graduates work in retail and food services, and this will help them move up much more quickly if they get a job. And then for the development and fundraising staff, nonprofit fundraising certificates, both undergraduate and graduate level. And then for a lot of our partners, you'll have really good client training or sometimes staff training, and we provide credit recognition for that. So just be aware that those are other ways that we can work with you. And if you want, you can reach out to us and connect us with various people in your organization. And then the last thing I want to talk about, the Wounded Healers program. So what it is it's an aftercare program, an educational aftercare program that partners with organizations. And what we do is we provide intensive support and life skills for students who are graduates of residential recovery programs in the past 3 years. So if that's you, if you are a graduate of a residential recovery program or sometimes prison reentry programs in the past 3 years, then we consider you in our Wounded Healers program. And part of what we're trying to do is not just provide you with, the regular, academic and job skills, but provide you with life skills. So this is what the life skills we provide in our life skills curriculum. So vocation, calling, and purpose of work is really helping you develop a life plan and also just understand a theology of work. The Wounded Healers, so that is the touchstone course, or the first course that we like for a lot of wounded healers to take, or to take as early as possible. And what they do there is students will develop a relapse prevention and life balance plan for themselves. And a lot of our wounded healers, they've been sober for a while, so they may not feel like it's as present. But part of the goal is, in doing this, we have a lot of best practices. We want to help you learn to help others do the same. Then we have a course on emotional intelligence and healthy relationships. Then a course on personal finance, holistic personal health. So physical health, because a lot of times physical health is tied to mental health. And if you have good, physical care of your body, then that can help with mental health and reduce relapse prevention. Job and internship search strategies, basic job search and interview skills, family issues and recovery. You can process your family of origin issues, technology, life balance, and behavioral addictions. Often what happens is people trade in their chemical addictions for behavioral addictions. So We're trying to kind of stop that cycle. So for some of you, this may apply to you, but for a lot of you, you may say, hey, this would really apply to our clients. What we're really trying to do is we're trying to work with you, and we view it as you guys provide the 101 version for a lot of these courses, and we want to be the 201 version for a subset. So how that works is, we're trying to help provide a holistic plan for recovery. And there's all these things people need to do in that. And we have courses and, there's steps that people can take. And this is actually the curriculum we use for the Wounded Healers course, but also in the program. And you can see we have different courses that can help with these different things. So processing past trauma, managing thoughts, managing emotions, how to do healthy relationships, physical health, boundaries and self-care, and job and financial health and career and marketability. And that's really all of City Vision is focused, on this. And part of this, where's Jesus in this? Jesus and, Christian approach is basically everywhere, in this. So we have specific courses that are going to be integrated in faith perspective, but all of this is, focused on changing behavior and core beliefs. So hopefully this is helpful for you. Really, I just want to welcome you to City Vision. And if you have any questions, please ask our staff. Thanks.